Coming up on Inside California Education.
There's kids who be bullied right there, and I would see that, and I'd be like, hey guys, might not do that.
See how the Safe School Ambassadors program is teaching teens how to speak up against bullies and diffuse conflicts.
Your choices do have consequences.
UC Merced college students tell their personal stories to 8th graders in Merced County, how these simple acts are reducing crime and improving graduation rates.
Are you guys going to include that as part of your collaboration time?
A day in the life of a school principal in West Sacramento.
How are we doing? Hello.
And an alternative school in Napa is reaching students with innovative methods, from yoga to community service. It's all next on Inside California Education.
Funding for Inside California Education is made possible by... Since 1985, the California Lottery has raised more than $32 billion in supplemental funding for California's 1,100 public school districts from kindergarten through college. That's approximately $191 for each full-time student based on $1.5 billion contributed in fiscal year 2016-17. With caring teachers, committed administrators, and active parents, every public school student can realize their dreams. The California Lottery, imagine the possibilities. The Stewart Foundation, improving life outcomes for young people through education.
Thanks for joining us on Inside California Education. I'm Christina Salerno. We begin in Fairfield, where a major effort is underway to put an end to bullying. High school students are learning techniques to step in and speak up when they see somebody being mistreated.
Hey, I don't want him to do it.
You know what? Come on, it's okay. Here, let us help you. Yeah, go ahead. Here, come on, go ahead.
You a nerd, get out!
Here's a scene you might see in a classroom. Bullying and taunting. But then someone steps in.
They want to be in our group? Yeah. I would like that, Will. Okay. All right, you can be in our group. Thank you.
Practice makes perfect, as they say. That's why these teenagers at Fairfield High School are practicing ways to intervene if they see someone being bullied on campus. So when the time comes, they'll be ready.
Okay, one's over here. Yeah.
Two are that way.
Yeah. Oh, no, not today. Not today, sweetie.
So.
Next time. Over there.
We don't want a bad grade because of you.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna do
Not to be mean or anything, but
I can do it. I can help you guys.
Nah, we popping over here, sweetie.
I think we're fine.
No.
But thanks for your help.
All right, that's enough, right?
Who are you?
Who are you?
We do all this role play, all this rehearsal. We create this safe space for them to actually step up and practice what it's like and to build this network of humans so that they can rely on. And I think the one tool they come away with is the sense that, okay, I have a voice.
Did he make a big to-do? Did he make like a big chorus and a bunch of noise? What did he do? He just walked up, said, hold her away, right?
Eric Rubin is a trainer with Community Matters. The nonprofit group teaches students how to deal with bullies through a program called Safe School Ambassadors.
It's not just being able to stand up and intervene. It's really being able, first off, to be aware of what's going on, and then learn really appropriate, safe ways to intervene. And then over time, the influence that students have on each other has a real chance of changing the social norm. But ultimately, it's the kids that determine the social norm if that's cool or not to do.
Lunchtime's a big spot where I've found my voice. There's kids who be bullied right there, and I would see that, and I'd be like, hey guys, might not do that, or I just do one of our training techniques, which is distract. So I'd be like, hey, I need this guy, or I need this girl for this, something like that. And I'd take them away.
Melna is one of dozens of Safe School Ambassadors at Fairfield High. She was handpicked for this program, like all of these students, because her teachers know that she has social influence at this school.
People don't trust teachers as much because they're not on their age level, they're not in their circles, they don't hear what us kids can hear. So when we go and we separate it, they're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't do this, versus when a teacher's like, don't do this, and you're just like, oh, I'm not gonna listen to this teacher.
What we've found in 17 years of research is that those kids use those skills on the average of twice a day. So imagine if you've got 40 kids, and in this school now almost 100, who twice a day are interrupting, de-escalating, preventing, or stopping something bad from happening, what happens is the school can see decreases in fights, decreases in reportable offenses, and they can start to see an increase in kids feeling safer. You are the eyes and ears of this school. You see, hear, and know things that adults don't know.
Rick Phillips is a former principal who founded the program after the 1999 Columbine High School shooting. He wanted to empower kids to get involved before a situation turns tragic.
We frequently will get a email, text message from a student who's a Safe School ambassador, who is an ambassador trying to let us know about something going on campus. There's 2 students over here. They seem to be getting into a verbal argument, or even there's a student over here who looks really sad. Having eyes and ears everywhere is extremely beneficial to our program.
The training isn't all serious. There's lots of fun, too.
So we're doing all 3 sounds. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, sound.
Students participate in several icebreakers. It's a chance to get to know each other outside of their usual social circle.
When you bring all these kids in, there's kids from multiple different groups here. Like, we have a bunch of basketball players and cheerleaders and avid kids. And, you know, like with our groups, we're intermingled, so it gives you the chance to know people that usually you wouldn't have the courage to talk to outside of this.
So many high school students feel so isolated. Their impression is that their situations are so unique, their struggles are so unique that nobody would understand, nobody could ever connect to what I'm going through or whatever I've seen. And through some of these trainings, like the Crossing the Line activity, they really are able to understand that so many other people share similar experiences and that there's so much support to be had with that.
I heard someone using a racist or homophobic slur, and I said,
I was bullied myself. And throughout sophomore year to junior year, I think I stood up for myself. There was this one time in class I was bullied because I was wearing something. But it seemed like I was still in middle school, wearing little knit sweaters and knit mittens. I was like, you have your own style, I have mine. Please leave me alone. And I felt confident. I was standing up for myself. I was me. The Safe School Ambassadors helped me stand up for myself.
Safe School Ambassadors is now in place in nearly 2,000 schools across the country. The program is designed to be self-sustaining, so after a few years of training from Community Matters, the schools take ownership. That means it's up to students like Adrian to keep the tradition going.
And it's a great way to show love, you know, because that's what a lot of this world needs, you know, more love, because we have a lot of hate in this world. And being able to be an ambassador is a great opportunity to show that love.
When I see bullying, before I just would steer clear of it. Now I step up and try and make a difference in it.
I've really found my voice here, and I feel safe here in this environment, and I hope others do too when we try to help them.
It truly can save lives, but more importantly, I think it does is it changes the climate of the school to be a more compassionate and caring place.
As many as 1 in 3 students say they have been bullied at school. Studies show girls tend to be the victims of social and cyberbullying, while boys often bear the brunt of physical attacks. Research shows parents can help break the bullying cycle by talking to their kids about it and encouraging them to participate in teams and activities they love.
Let's head next to the Central Valley town of Merced, which suffers from higher crime rates compared to the state average. Merced officials are trying to counter the violence by increasing graduation rates, and they're doing it with the help of local college students.
So we're actually going to get started now, and the first part of my presentation is going to be my narrative. I tell you my story for lots of reasons. One of them is that I want you to know that I come from real struggles, and I want you to know that I was able to do it even though I was pretty far down.
Monica Perales has one shot to try to connect to 8th graders at Weaver Middle School in Merced, California.
We're there for more than just saying things like, you need to do well. We're there to show them that it is possible. And I was still able to go to college, and it was hard. I can't stress that enough, but it was so worth it because now I get to say that I was the first one in my family to graduate. I get to say I'm the first one in my family to go to college, and I'm so proud of myself for that.
Monica is a University of California Merced student who hopes her personal story will inspire the young audience to stay in school.
If they know we care, maybe then they would start to think that they are worth it, that they are capable of doing things that maybe they didn't think they were before.
She's part of a cooperative program called Merced County Project 10%. The goal of the program is to increase high school graduation rates by 10% in Merced County. It's a united effort between Merced County's Office of Education, the District Attorney's Office, and UC Merced.
And we're gonna go through an activity, so make sure your eyes are closed. No peeking, I see you, I see you.
Teams of UC Merced college students are deployed to junior highs throughout Merced County.
Middle school students are making key decisions about who they are, and it's a critical time for them to understand that they can achieve more and aspire to more than perhaps they thought they could.
Project 10% was inspired by a study that found if high school graduation rates increased by 10 percentage points, then California could avoid 400 homicides and 20,000 aggravated assaults.
That degree is more than just a rite of passage for students. It really is the passport to a job, to college, to a productive life.
Maybe money is an issue. I want you to know that it's possible, and I'm proof of that.
The students that are involved in Merced County Project 10% have very similar backgrounds to the children that are sitting in the classrooms.
My father went to prison at the end of 8th grade, which meant a lot was lifted off my shoulders. The abuse and all the stuff that he brought in my house was gone. And when he came back, things got even more intense.
I feel like she can relate to what I'm relating to, so it means more than just an adult just saying it.
8th grader Stacy was particularly touched by Monica's story.
She didn't get much attention, like when she's at home, and her parents didn't really help her with anything, like they didn't know much because they didn't go to college, and same with mine. And so it was really helpful to hear how she made it through, and I have a chance and I will go through.
They're not going to change the life of everybody sitting in that classroom, but they may be touching the one that really needs it.
How do you practice? You study. How else?
It's for those few that you can reach and truly impact them that we do it for.
When you're in here in this classroom, I always say, your education is the way that you feed your brain.
Devonio Bills was one of the first UC Merced students to join the program when it launched in 2011. He has since graduated from UC Merced, but continues to be involved with the program.
I understand what they're going through, and it was a very pivotal time for me. So I try my best to advocate and pay it forward, because had I not had that mentor, there's no telling where I'd be at today.
And every single choice has consequences. Good job.
So are these college kids making a difference? It appears so. Merced County has cut their homicide rate in half, and their high school graduation rate continues to climb.
When we started the program, it was at 88%. And so we were looking at hopefully getting a graduation rate of 98%. This past year, it was at 93.6%. So we've already made a 50% growth on that goal. So we're excited about that.
I just can't describe it. It's just so powerful just to know that one speech could do that.
Today I learned that I'm not alone. You inspired me to keep going because I know now I can be as successful as
This presentation is very inspirational. It makes me feel confident.
I didn't think about high school being that important. Now that you talked about it,
I loved your story. You taught me to believe in myself and to stay in school to get an education. Thank you.
They not only, I think, feel like they are positively impacting their 8th grade students that they talk with, but I think they begin to see a change in themselves.
It's definitely something that I didn't think would have such an impact on me, but it has proved to be the most amazing experience of my life.
A group of law enforcement leaders called Fight Crime, Invest in Kids conducted the study that inspired Project 10%. The group also suggests that America could take the same amount of money spent to jail criminals for 1 year and invest it in quality preschools for 10 years. They say that investment alone would produce more than 2 million additional high school graduates.
Still ahead on Inside California Education, we'll show you some unique and effective practices at an alternative school in Napa. But first, a day in the life of a school principal.
West Sacramento is a very close-knit community. It's very warm and welcoming. Our families are eager to build community and connectedness and want to really be a part of our school culture and community. My name's Roxanne Bautista Villaseñor. This is my 3rd year as principal of Westfield Village Elementary School. Hello. Growing up, I had initial aspirations of becoming a doctor. I majored in biology. I attended the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C. Being the first in my family to had gone away to college and earned my bachelor's degree, I felt that there was a sense of responsibility to give back to my community. And it wasn't until my administrative credentialing program where I really felt inspired and I really felt motivated and encouraged and powerful enough to influence the lives of others. Being a principal, there's the daily managerial activities and the unexpected events that come up in working with people. And if you talk to any educator, they will tell you that you're a counselor, you're a social worker, and you're also held accountable to address the needs and not just maintain the status quo so that students could be successful. I am very adamant about giving voice to our parents. There are rights and services that they're entitled to, and as an educator, it's our job to make sure that we're providing that quality service. Today, if you were to go into our classroom, you would see students engaged, you would see technology present, you would see teachers encouraging and motivating and empowering our students. Are you guys going to include that as part of your collaboration time?
I think so.
For individuals aspiring to be an administrator, I think you would first have to accept that it's a lifestyle. It's not a career. It's a way of living.
Good morning.
Good morning. May I join your circle?
Of course. Let's get in there.
At the end of each day, I know my heart is pure. I know I'm genuine and passionate about what I do. I feel fortunate to be at the site that I'm at as someone who came from the community, someone who is Latina, who could give hope and inspire hope to students that perhaps they can see themselves through me.
And finally, alternative schools are often the last chance for teens on probation. But we discovered an alternative school in Napa that's taking a different approach to educating its students. And for many, it's ensuring their last chance is a successful one.
I think the most rewarding thing was just like finding myself, like learning what I needed to work on.
When I got sent here, I kind of realized I was messing up in life. This school was my last chance, and I pretty much needed to turn my whole life around and get on the right track.
We like working here. Every day we get up and we want to come to work here.
This is a story about a different kind of school, a place where young people, once troubled and in trouble, are getting back on track, guided toward success through a unique blend of clear expectations, new opportunities, and an atmosphere of mutual trust and caring between students and the adults investing in their futures.
We just have this special group of people that love each other and are on the same mission, and we're here to see these kids get a fair chance.
Camille Creek is a community school in Napa County. All of the 150 9th through 12th graders here are on formal probation, transferred for truancy or behavioral problems from Napa's other high schools.
If you are a teacher in a large comprehensive high school, you may see 150 students a day. It's very hard for you to get to know all of your students, and when a student is disruptive, causing a problem, that's not the student that you really want to get warm and fuzzy with.
We're alternative in the sense that we get to kind of create whatever program each student needs to thrive.
Hi guys.
How are we doing? Hello.
I'm doing very fine.
Are we taking selfies?
Very good.
Oh, good.
Today, teacher Lindsay Baker is using that alternative approach at this Napa Senior Center, where Camille Creek students are teaching their grateful elders how to use their smartphones. A primary goal, building self-worth by helping others.
This is Sonia, this is Jackie, and they've been helping me all sorts of things. They'll tell me one little thing, and one of those little aha moments, and it'll last forever. All right, it'll last till I get home.
These kids are smart. These kids have a lot to offer. I think it's wonderful that they can find a venue where they can share it, where they're the guys that are helping out the other people rather than the other people helping them out.
It's not like we're coming here to keep doing the mistakes that we were doing. We're coming here so we can know what we did wrong and switch it around.
For the first time, a lot of our kids feel like they belong somewhere, and they actually say, whoa, you guys care about us. If they don't feel that, there's no teaching or learning that can happen.
I definitely feel like I'm getting a second chance, because at my other schools, it was just like, oh, you're a bad kid, you need to go to like a bad kid school, you know? But it's nothing like that. Like, the teachers here actually care about students.
We're doing a little quick activity.
That caring by teachers and administrators emerges through an innovative blend of classroom instruction, online learning, and community service. Students helped clean up and beautify downtown Napa after the 2014 earthquake. Back at school, they learn yoga to manage stress and take special classes on conflict resolution and redirecting negative behaviors and emotions. At Nimbus Arts, a nonprofit teaching organization in nearby St. Helena, practicing artists help these high schoolers express themselves through ceramics, painting, silk screening, glass art, and welding.
I'm just in the moment and like doing everything that I feel like doing. And I just get to express myself in the art that I make. And I like that.
Today we're going to be talking about interviewing, and one of the keys to successful interviewing is breathing and relaxing and not getting tight.
That community support is reflected in other ways. Retired Disney executive Phil LaFaro is volunteering his time, joining teacher Jeffrey Scott to teach these students how to write resumes, dress for success, and impress potential employers. It's already helped 12th grader Alvaro get 2 jobs.
Once you're going to that interview, you feel more confident. You don't feel like, oh man, what am I going to say? Like, you already know what you're going to say.
We just don't want them to leave our campus and then just kind of, flutter in the wind. We want them to actually go out there and do what they want, and it's our goal to give them those skills to do that.
I hope that they see themselves the way we see them, which is not as problems, but as individuals full of potential.
Have you ever seen a couple together and you've gone, what's that about?
In a nearby classroom, Phil's wife, Kathy Heinzman, another volunteer, is helping students relate Shakespeare and classical poetry to their own lives and experiences.
It's a place of connection, and I think that's what all great literature and art in general does. It connects human beings. I think it's a very powerful place for the adults and the children here to connect in ways that are deeply real human.
We're finding that when we ask people to become mentors or have internships or come and get involved in the way that they'd like to be involved, people are saying yes. It's not a hard sell.
That combination of committed, passionate educators and an involved community is showing results. Graduation rates here are higher than almost any other community school in California. Many kids eligible to return to their regular high schools still decide to stay here.
Because of this notion that I was lost in that big high school, and here I'm important, people care about me, and I'm achieving success.
In many districts, schools like this are considered places for both teachers and students to avoid, a sad and final stop for so-called bad kids as they prepare to give up on education. Napa says, with a foundation of unconditional caring, we hope to restore these students' dreams and renew their hopes for a brighter future.
They help me a lot to build myself and make me feel more confident,
We're creating an environment here where we're taking these kids who were lost and labeled, and we're just making them feel loved, and it's awesome.
You'll realize the teachers and the principals, everybody's here to support you, pretty much help you learn from your mistakes and pretty much go far in life.
If the kids feel loved, they trust. If they trust, they lower their guard. And by the time they love, trust, and lower their guard, now they're open to learning academics.
So much of childhood is school. And so in many ways, it's their last chance at having a happy childhood.
That's it for this edition of Inside California Education. If you'd like more information about the program, log on to our website, insidecaled.org. We have video from all of our shows, and you can connect with us on social media as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Inside California Education.
And every single choice has consequences. Good job.
Are we taking selfies? Oh, good. And we're gonna go through an activity, so make sure your eyes are closed. No peeking. I see you. I see you.
You want to be in our group? I would like that, Will. Okay. All right. You can be in our group. Thank you.
Funding for Inside California Education is made possible by... Since 1985, the California Lottery has raised more than $32 billion in supplemental funding for California's 1,100 public school districts from kindergarten through college. That's approximately $191 for each full-time student based on $1.5 billion contributed in fiscal year 2016-17. With caring teachers, committed administrators, and active parents, every public school student can realize their dreams. The California Lottery, imagine the possibilities.
So, Greg, it's a lot to take in.
And I know that's hard to hear, but the doctors caught it early.
Hi, Blake. My dad has cancer.
And I know how hard that is to hear. But you're in the right place.
And Dr. Pascal and her team, they know what to do.
They know what to do.
The doctors know what to do.
So here's the plan. First off, we're going to give you all this information.
The Stewart Foundation, improving life outcomes for young people through education. Additional funding for Inside California Education is made possible by these organizations supporting public education.